Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope we are all doing very, very well. We're back again, of course. Back again with another match preview. Arsenal taking on Fulham in the Premier League this time. Back to Premier League this time. And I don't know, bit of a dead fixture in a way because Arsenal being mid-table, Fulham being where they are. I suppose all our eggs are in the Europa League basket, but I could be wrong. And I've brought a guest on as well, and I'm happy to get him on as always. I've talked to the guy. He's always super positive, or tries to be anyway, and he certainly should be positive over the last couple of games, that's for sure. Of course, I had to get Tom on, didn't I? How are we doing, mate?
How you doing, Brandon? Thanks for having me on, mate. How are things, buddy? How are things?
Good. We was just talking behind the background, mate, and like I say, we didn't get to talk too much about the game on Thursday because I was supposed to do my fan cam, didn't do my fan cam because of various reasons I don't really want to get into. But I thought, let's get Tom on. We can have a little chat about Thursday. We can have a little chat about what's going on in the Premier League as well, and what your expectations are for the rest of the season as well. So it's going to be an interesting one, guys. So make sure you're smashing a like on the video. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe as well. And make sure, if you haven't already or you don't know already, Tom does match day vibes on League on his channel. So make sure you go and check that out every single match day. About 2 hours before, is it?
Yeah, so mate, exciting stuff is happening. So from this weekend, so from tomorrow, we're actually going to be mixing it up a little bit. So Lee's going to be back on match day vibes. So it's going to be me, myself, and Lee Gunner. We're going to be rolling that out, and we're going to be doing a little bit earlier, a little bit later now. So it's going to be more sort of an hour before the game, maybe an hour and a half or so. It's just to get us all pumped, and that way we can also go through the actual squad that's come out, the team that's gone out, and digress and really get ready for the match, because we need some positivity, guys, don't we? I mean, it's Arsenal Football Club, isn't it?
Of course. So yeah, guys, listen, make sure you go and check that out if you don't or you haven't already. Let's just jump straight into it, mate. Let's jump straight into it. And first things first, like I said, we've got to start with the performance on Thursday. Of course, as you guys all well know, Arsenal slapped, battered, put them in a spliff. Say what you like. You know, we absolutely ruined the racists. What did you make of the performance, mate?
Mate, it's incredible, wasn't it, mate? It was. It's one of those games where I think all of us were a little bit wary. We're a little bit. We didn't know what to think, and you think to yourself, right? I want to try and stay positive, but we know our track record at the moment. And I don't know about you, mate, but I felt like I was going to start a brand new job. Like, I felt so nervous on the day. When it got to about 12 o'clock, I was starting to brick it, mate. I was worried, man. But we did all right, didn't we? We came through, and that was the main thing.
Yeah. Oh, mate, what performance. And it begs the question, where's this Arsenal been all season? That's what, that's sort of what I said. It's like, if they can churn out performances like that, why do we not do that more? Do you know what I mean? And
yeah,
it was unexpected because, like you, I was very nervous. I was very, I don't know. Yeah, okay, we beat Sheffield United, but in the big games recently, we're just not at the level. And what a performance! I think it was, including the goal that was disallowed. I think we scored 4 goals in like 10 minutes.
Yeah. It was mad, and I think that's something that we need to take a bit of credit for as well. The fact that we had a goal disallowed right at the beginning, and that gets frustration up high, and you think to yourself, oh, great, okay, it's kind of going to be one of them where everything just goes against us. But no, we picked our heads up and we got on with it. We didn't moan about it, and we had a tremendous performance. I think the first 25 minutes we were 3-0 up, and it was just incredible, mate. So well done, Arsenal. We can criticise lots of things about this club that's happened this season, but one thing I will be doing is giving them credit, and even the manager credit, for Thursday night's performance.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I mean, I don't know about you, but when that team lineup came out, I was a little bit unsure. Callum Chambers, yeah, he's done okay recently, but you're choosing him over your recognised right backs in Cedric and Bellerin, even though I don't rate Bellerin at all. And then he went with Granit Xhaka at left back again. He did okay against Sheffield United, but it's a bit more of a level above that.
Yeah.
And you've got to sit there and hold your hands up and say, look, he got it spot on, didn't he?
He did. And just like you, mate, I said in our show, obviously Matchday Vibes, when was it, on Thursday night, that I saw the teams that was leaked, and Lee put it out on the stream. And I was like, surely not. And I saw it and I was frustrated. I was genuinely annoyed when I saw the team that came out. And I thought, I don't fancy it. You know, that's completely against what I would have had. Like, I don't know about you. I wanted the likes of Martinelli to be starting. I even thought put Saka at the left back position. But what we can do is we can play Xhaka in front of him in that DM role, the defensive midfielder position, where Xhaka can then move into the left back position when we've got the ball. And then Saka can run forwards and play as like a left winger, with Martinelli perhaps just playing off the back of Lacazette, and also the likes of Cedric starting. So for me, I wasn't happy, but that's why Arteta's in the chair and not me. He got it bang on, and you can't complain, mate.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's what, like you say, that's what he gets paid his money for. We'd like to see that a little bit more on a regular basis, you know. But you can't argue. And another point that I wanted to bring up as well is obviously just before the game kicked off, literally just before the game kicked off, this happened. And what did you make of this particular photo? Because it's such an iconic photo. It just shows, you know, Arsenal taking the knee, Arsenal showing support towards Black Lives Matter, and then you've got them idiots just stood there huddling each other after their players just been banned for 10 games for racial abuse. I mean, what did you make of that, mate?
Do you know what? That's probably the most powerful football-related picture I've seen all season. And I'm not just saying that because it's Arsenal Football Club. I'm saying that because it's a picture that it just screams out so many different things. I mean, it's got passion, it's got enthusiasm, it's got hurt, it's got pain, it's got everything. You can see how much Arsenal Football Club kind of back this and they want to do it. And, you know, don't forget the guy that was racially abused, who played for Rangers. Obviously, you know this, Brandon. He played for Arsenal. So there's a bit of a personal point there. It's the fact that the guy who got, the guy who obviously got banned, I think it was for like 10 games or 12 games. It's a joke. If you're found guilty of something like that, it needs to be much longer and you need to nip it in the bud. But for me, the thing that really stood out was Lacazette. And as our captain, our leader, I was so proud. You know, I was watching him and he literally took the knee and he stared at them and his eyes didn't stop moving. It was confidence, it was passion, it was hurt, it was pain, all in one. And it was, I'm coming for you. And it wasn't just that. It was when he took the penalty as well. You could see he wanted blood, right? Because you know how much it means to him. You know, we shouldn't still be having these conversations about racism. You know, everybody's equal. You know, everybody's the same. And the fact of the matter is, we're still talking about it. And there's still foolish people out there that are making judgments. So it's not on. But going back to your point, what a picture, what an impact. And I was proud of my club.
Yeah, 100%. And like I say, I think that photo there is going to be one they're going to look back in years and they're going to go, that there is an iconic photo. It shows, you know, the difference. It shows, it's just like you say, it's such a powerful image. And proud of the players, really proud of the players. Apparently, according to Arteta, it was something that they'd kind of planned before the game. They knew that Slavia was going to stand there and huddle. So the players wanted to take the knee. They wanted to use that as a bit of energy in the game to give them a bit more extra motivation. Not that they need it anyway, but you could tell in the players' performances like Pepe, Saka, Lacazette.
Mate.
How ironic as well that all 4 goals were scored by black players.
Yeah.
How ironic, mate, you know?
Mate,
So,
that's something that my, Mex, he comes on the fan cams quite a bit. And he said to me, I spoke to him after the game, and, he said to me, he's like, Tom, do you know what? Like, 4 black players scored against the team of racists. And look, I don't want to say that every single player of theirs is a racist, because I'm sure they're not. But it's quite clear that they're standing by someone who is a racist. So for me, that's not cool. I don't care if you've got £1 million on the table or like a massive career. You've got to stand by your morals. How many times are people so swayed towards money and being influenced because, I'm being told to do this? Do you know what? Stand up and be a man. Be yourself, for crying out loud. Stick by your own morals. In fact, they probably don't even know what they are. But for me, it was incredible. Yeah, Mex said exactly what you said there, mate. And what a quote. 4 black players scored the goals and annihilated a racist team. So well said to you, mate, there. And well said to Mex as well. Absolutely killing it with that.
100%. Justice well served is what I'd call that. And you spoke a minute ago about the fact that we was baying for blood in that game. And of course, it set up a semi-final against our former manager, Goody Benning. And he is going to be baying for our blood, mate. I'm telling you for a fact. Emery's Villarreal, I think they've got an average age in their squad of 30 or something like that. So he's got a lot of players that are past their peak towards retirement age. Very good squad still, and he seems to be getting the best out of that squad in particular. Can we beat him? Can we beat Unai Emery? And if we don't, what needs to happen?
Well, first and foremost, mate, I feel really old because I'm 32. So they've got a really old squad at 30. You're killing me, mate. You're killing me. But it's all right. I play a little game when I go out for dinner with my missus. She's 3 years younger than me, and we always say to the bartender, whoever, right, who looks older? And she gets really cross because the majority of the time they say her, and they think I'm a toy boy. So it's fine. Age is just a number. You are as old as you feel, right? But mate, serious note. In terms of that one, I'm a bit worried. I think this is going to be a harder test than the actual final itself. Now, when I say that, if you look at Villarreal's squad and you really break it down into depth, the players they have, there's no one for me that necessarily really stands out. Every week on the show, on Match Day Vibes, I try and find a danger man. And for me, looking at their team, it's difficult. I'm struggling, right? They've got a few, but for me, it comes down to the fact that Emery has done bits in terms of his tactics. That team should not be where they are right now, but they are because of him. And when you said about the blood, he is going to want to come for us, mate. If you think he's got motivation and charisma to get this far, you wait until he turns up at the Emirates. He's going to cause a riot. So I'm worried, man. What about you?
Yeah, me too. I'm worried. I see everybody likes their stats. So I see a stat the other day, and this is true. If you take out the fact that we lost against Chelsea in the final when he was in charge, Unai Emery has won his last 21 knockout fixtures in the Europa League. That is mad. That is a mad record. It's unbelievable, really. And
that's mental, mate.
he knows what he's doing in this competition. There's no question about it. And it's not even like he's done it with just one club. He's done it with 3 or 4. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. It's going to, like you say, I think it's going to be probably tougher than the final itself.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of question marks asked, especially if we do happen to go out against him. You know, people will be questioning, did we get the right manager? Should we have given him more time? You know, there's a lot riding on this. And
I can't be having that, mate. I can't. It's bad enough as it is, like, let alone that happening. You're right. There will come for blood if that happens. But I mean, one thing I will say, mate, is the guy's a masterclass in the Europa League, and he's won it, I think, wasn't it, like 3 or 4 times, which is mental. The fact of the matter is that he got knocked out. Well, he got to the final with Arsenal, and we lost it in Baku, right? So we lost that, which wasn't great. Now, he is that close to getting to a final again. He's not going to let it go, right? He wants that. So it's like today's game. You know, you saw Chelsea. We beat them in the final of the FA Cup. Well, guess what? They beat Man City tonight, and they are coming for that trophy, and they're probably going to win it, right? It's a bit like Emery. He is coming for this trophy. He's won it before. He misses it. He lost out the last hurdle the other year. He wants it for Villarreal. So it's going to be tough, man, isn't it? It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, 100%. And just before we move on to the Fulham game, just touch on the Chelsea game. Obviously, people who don't know, Chelsea beat Man City earlier on this evening to get through to the final of the FA Cup. And they will face either Southampton or Leicester. Now, I'm disappointed because Southampton were the team that knocked us out. And if you had to pick now and say, you know, for example, say we did get past Southampton and Wolves, we'd be up against Leicester, a Leicester team that are struggling. I could see us being in the final of the FA Cup as well, but instead we didn't take that seriously, and it's kind of disappointing because we could have gone for, you know, the FA Cup and the Europa League. I definitely think we should have defended that a lot better than what we did. I don't know what your thoughts are, mate.
100%. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think it was embarrassing. I was absolutely fuming by the team that we put out and the performance that we gave. We didn't give the trophy enough pride, enthusiasm. By then, I think Arteta looked at it and he thought, right, I need to focus on the league. That takes my main focus, because at that point, he still believed that he could get in the top 4. And number 2, I also need to look at the Europa League. And from a selfish point of view, I think he thought to himself and thought, you know what? Well, look, I've won the FA Cup. For me personally, if I'm going to have to choose a trophy, it's going to be something different. He shouldn't have looked at it like that at all. If I'm honest, FA Cup, we love it. We thrive on it. It's something that happens as soon as we get on that pitch. It's like magic gets in our boots, right? It doesn't matter who we're playing. We become dynamite. Okay, we're fantastic. We're a different club, mate. So we should have taken it seriously. And as you rightly pointed out, look at where they are. They're in a semi-final. And what better than a Chelsea-Arsenal semi-final in the FA Cup again? That would have been mad.
Yeah, that'd have been 3 seasons in a row that we would have been in some sort of final with Chelsea, wouldn't it? But again, on Pep Guardiola, you've got to ask questions of him as well, because I think in the FA Cup now, that is 4 seasons that he's only managed to get to the semi-final. Obviously, we knocked them out at the semi-final last season. We knocked them out at the semi-final in 2017 as well. And they've only managed to reach the semi-final again this season. So do you reckon there's other things that he's considering more important, like Champions League, Premier League and all that lot? Or do you think he's a bit like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, can't make it past the semi-final?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of that, isn't there? I think, so I'll let you into a little secret. I mean, before I do that, I think he made 6 changes today, right? So it's a different team. But from what I know about Man City is that the first thing that comes on his to-do list is Champions League. You know, he has to win it. You know, chuck the kitchen sink, do what you can. You need to get into a final of the Champions League. That's why they pumped all the money in there. Number 2 is the Premier League. Number 3 for them is, you know, the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. But from what I've heard is that they almost consider the FA Cup a little bit like the Carabao Cup, because unfortunately, you know, it's an English trophy. Okay, for you or I, it's incredible. We love it. It's tradition. But for these foreign ownerships and foreign managers, it doesn't have that sparkle, right? And from a financial point of view, it's nowhere near the Premier League. It's nowhere near the Champions League. So when it comes between choosing for a Champions League match or an FA Cup match, the teams are going to be very different, which is a shame because it's lost. I don't know. I just wish it had the old sparkle. If it did, I'll tell you right now, mate, Man City would be in the final because they would have gone for a full pitch team, but they haven't. So it's sad.
100%, mate. I agree again. And yeah. And look, we're going to move on to Fulham. Of course, that's what we're here to do. We're here to preview the
Big game.
And of course, we remember last time out very vaguely because it was our first game of the season. You remember rightly. That day, Willian started. He got 2 assists as well, and everybody thought, "Oh, Arteta's pulled off a masterclass here with Willian." And, since then, he's not really done too much, has he? Let's be fair. He turned into Ronaldinho that day, and then he's gone missing ever since, like Pepe.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, mate. What are your thoughts? Let me ask you something. Do you remember that tremendous free kick that he had? And I swear, I love Fulham's ground. It's a proper, like, classic old school ground. And I always enjoy going there. 1, because we beat them most of the time, but 2, it's just such a traditional ground. But I swear their pitch is like half the size of every other team. Do you know what I mean? They could score a goal from the halfway line. But that free kick that Willian, and you know what I'm going to say, that he hit the post. Do you think if he had scored that, we would have seen a different player?
It's hard to tell, isn't it? Because I don't know, mate, because he got 2 assists in that game, don't forget, and that should have given
that's a good point.
Given him confidence anyway. But in terms of scoring, has he actually scored a goal for us this season?
That's the thing, mate. He hasn't even scored a goal, and he wasn't even on the bench on Thursday. So, it's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's true. And of course, like I say, we beat them 3-0 last time. It was a comfortable victory. First game of the season. I remember everybody saying, "Oh, we just beat Fulham 3-0. That's it. We're getting top 4 now." It's Fulham, but there you go. And as you can see here, both clubs have had terrible seasons in their own right. Obviously, Fulham falling at the bottom, relegation and stuff like that. They're what are they? 8 points away from safety. It looks like they're going to be going down. And then, of course, Arsenal have had a terrible season by their standards as well. 9th. Although, looking at the points there, Tom, I'm not sure. I mean, I might be being a bit over optimistic there, but you look at us on 45 points, Everton on 49, Tottenham on 50, Liverpool on 52. I mean, is it possible for us to catch up and possibly finish in at least the top 6? What do you reckon?
Well, listen, mate. I'm going to let you guys in for a little sneak peek for tomorrow's show, and I was gonna save this one for tomorrow, but I'm gonna put it out on here first. All right. What do you notice that's the same between Arsenal and Fulham right now, points wise? Both got 7 points to get. So Fulham, going into match tomorrow, Fulham are 7 points away from safety. Arsenal are 7 points away from Europe. So everyone at the moment is thinking, do you know what? Fulham, like they've got to fight for their life. They've got everything to fight for. Arsenal have nothing. Well, we both do. Because guess what? There's still 7 games to be played this season, right? So, mate, anything can happen. And why put your eggs in one basket with a final that we're not even in just yet when you could maybe get back into the top 6? So for me, mate, it is doable. And tomorrow, I joked earlier saying big game. It is a big game. That's my opinion, mate.
Yeah, no, I agree as well. Even if, for example, even if we don't even get top 6, we happen not to really be too bothered about the whole Premier League situation because we know where we are as a club at the moment.
Yeah.
I want to see them go out tomorrow and win still, because we need to keep that winning mentality going. We need to keep the victories rolling for confidence within the Europa League anyway, you know. And we've got I think we've got a week or 2 now before we play Villarreal anyway. So there's no reason why you can't play a fairly strong side and maybe interchange players in between tomorrow's game against Fulham and then Everton's as well. I don't know. What's your thoughts on that? Would you like to see multiple changes, or would you like him to keep it fairly similar but not, risk certain players that have been overplayed this season?
I think to be honest, I can see it both ways. So people that say, look, let's not risk any players, fair play. I can see it from your point of view. But as you quite rightly pointed out there, I think a lot of us are forgetting we haven't got a game on Thursday. We're all thinking, oh, Villarreal Thursday, we've got to rest everyone. We've got Everton next on Friday. And then the Thursday after that is when we've got Villarreal. So technically, we don't play Villarreal for another almost 2 weeks. So for me, at the moment, we are playing our best football since I've seen for a long time. We beat Sheffield United 3-0. Yes, Sheffield United. We then absolutely crucified Slavia Prague 4-0. Okay, 2 clean sheets, guys. And what's that? That's 7 goals. Amazing. Right. Why don't we keep the emphasis and go for a strong team, right? Almost a similar team to what we had on Thursday, because we've got consistency now in the left back position, which seems to be working. Let's not take it out and try something different. Let's perhaps go with a Xhaka at the left back position again. It's working. Do it. Lacazette, I think it's if he gets one more goal, he's equaled his record for goals scored in the Premier League, which is a big coup for him. He's on form. He scored 4 goals in 2 games. He's killing it. Saka looks on fire. Do you know what? Go strong tomorrow. Let's get a 4-1 win, a 4-0 win. Let's get 5, right? I might sound deluded. Let's get a massive, massive win. And in my eyes, when it comes to the Everton game on Friday, that's when we slightly rest and that's when we slightly rotate. That's my opinion, mate. What about you? What are you thinking, mate?
Yeah, I'd agree to a similar. Yeah, I'd agree to a similar extent to what you're saying there. I think if you're going to rest players, it'd probably be better to do it in this game. I think because of the quality, the difference in quality between Fulham and Everton, I think better off playing your better players against Everton. But I don't know. It's a tough call. And look, like you said earlier, we don't get paid £6 million a year to make these decisions. That's down to Mikel Arteta. Yeah. The one thing that I don't want him to do is go and play, for example, your Sakas, your Smith Rowes, players who have just come back from little niggly injuries. We can't afford for them to be picking up injuries right before Villarreal, because if that happens, we're in trouble, and it only takes 1 or 2 players to be missing from the squad. I mean, I suppose with Smith Rowe, if he's missing, you can replace him with Odegaard. But I look at areas like, for example, Thomas Partey. If you haven't got Thomas Partey in the midfield, we look a complete and utter different side. And I don't mean for the good reasons either. If you haven't got Saka in the team, we look horrendous. And they're two players that I definitely would not risk. I don't know about you.
Yeah, mate, this is a good thing about football. It's good to like get different opinions. You know, you and I, we're pretty real in terms of our thought process. Like, it's good to disagree, you know, and like we'll be mates afterwards. Like, we don't look at each other any differently. But me personally, I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, you don't want to risk the likes of Saka and Smith Rowe. I think without a Saka, Smith Rowe in this squad, pretty much say goodbye to Villarreal. So it's like, do you be really safe and leave them out for this game? But if you leave them out this game, in my eyes, the reason for that, you're going to then have to leave them out again for Everton, because the league's pretty much done in my eyes, but it's doable. The Europa League is what we need to really focus on properly. I just feel like we're on such a good stead, and we just need that. We need to keep it. You know, like, keep going. Like, don't change something if it's not broken. You know, like, it's working. I do all we could, right? This is the way I look at it. I go strong. I'd go pretty much like for like against, as we did on Thursday night, because it seems to be working, getting that mould. And then Everton, I'd mix it up a little bit. And I think fans would be more forgiving that we rotated and mixed it up a little bit against Everton than if we did against this game and then played our star players in Everton and one of them got injured. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah. I kind of get what you're saying.
Yeah. I feel like it's too close. Like, the Friday game is too close to the Thursday game to play the likes of, you know, your Smith Rowes, your Sakas, you know, your Partey's, you know, even Leno. I'd be dropping Leno and I'd be putting Ryan in or something. And don't forget, we've still got players to come back. We've got the likes of Luiz, who's going to be back in a week and a half or so. We've got Odegaard, he's 50-50 for Fulham, but I wouldn't rush him back. So there's other players, and obviously Aubameyang as well. Like, there's players that can, you know, the depth of the squad is starting to grow a little bit. So I would go strong tomorrow, mate. But if Saka gets injured, then I look like an idiot, and so does Arteta.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll do a joint start 11 in just a minute, but just quickly, you mentioned his name there, Aubameyang. It's come out that he had malaria, and he contracted it when he was on international duty with Gabon. And what did you make of that news? I mean, he hasn't looked himself in recent weeks, I'd agree, but to have malaria as well, you know, that's a bit like coronavirus, you know what I mean? It don't take no prisoners.
Yeah, I mean, malaria is not nice at all. It's horrible. I think the thing about Aubameyang is he's just had, bless him, like a season from hell. I've said from day one, right? And even when he wasn't performing, you know, he is my favourite player. You know, my little boy, when I buy him a football shirt, you know, like, he doesn't get a name on the back because I'd rather get our name on the back in our favourite number. But if he was to get like a player's name on the back, it would be Aubameyang. Yeah, I just think he's got so much charisma. He's got class. He's cool. And he's got drive. But also, he's got the passion, right? And I know that this season hasn't really seemed like that. But I just think he's such a top guy that a lot of us need to kind of lay off him a little bit. It's quite clear he's had a lot going on behind the scenes. Like, you know, with what happened to his mum, you know, he's caught malaria. You know, like, it's a confidence game. I keep saying this every single week. It's a confidence game in football. And the guy's not had much of it. And when he needs us to really back him and put an arm around him, we're all kind of like throwing sticks and stones at him. So I think we just need to say this was an off season. He's got enough credit in the bank to, you know, to have that. You know, he's been amazing. But on him, I think he's going to come back better, stronger, and he's going to kill it. So he's our guy. He's our captain, man. He's our captain.
I actually, I would agree with you in a way. I actually feel like him having an off season this season might well be a good thing for us, because if he'd have churned out 20, 30 goals again this season, then all the cracks that show within the team when he's not performing wouldn't have been noticed. And I think now that you've seen that Aubameyang's not quite at the level that he was, and when he's not at the level and scoring goals, we're a terrible side. We struggle to get goals from anywhere else. I think that exposing that sort of thing might well do us some good in the summer transfer window, because it will force these owners, it will force the manager to go out and correct that and buy in some players who can cover when Aubameyang's off form. So I'd agree with that 100%. Another thing as well, mate, you're brave. You're brave, telling me that if your son was to get a Arsenal shirt and you was to have a player's name on it, it'd be Aubameyang. That's a long name, mate. You have to pay per name. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think he'd be able to get it on the back, would he?
That would be my one. It's only 4 letters.
Yeah, that's a good shout, man. Mate, to be fair, I'm too vain. I'll get my own name on the back. That's what I do, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
But mate, honestly, at least it kind of shows that, you know, the guy, I always say footballers, they're not robots, right? They've got feelings as well. But this shows that this guy is human. You know, he's only human. We can all mess up. We can all have family situations going on. And I don't care how much money you get paid, right? You know, at the end of the day, things always affect you, especially when it's personal. So, look, he's going to smash it. And you spoke a little minute ago about, you know, where do we find the other goals? Like, you know, we were too reliant on Aubameyang. But now, if you were to put your perfect Arsenal team against Villarreal, it might not even have him in the squad. So that goes to show how well we are doing, slowly, of course, but surely, without him in the squad. We are managing to cope. And as well, transfer window, like you said, mate, hopefully that'll get these guys to put their hands in their pockets and really complement the team.
100%. That's going to be the main thing to look at this. I think, you know, if we win the Europa League, great. But
yeah,
I think this summer is so important. And I think you agree on that as well. So we're going to get into our starting 11 now. I've just got to work out how I did this last time. Look.
What's that, mate?
It's all good. I've done there. We should have sharing somewhere along the line. Hang on. There you go. Look at that.
Check you out, mate. So, I feel like I'm a Football Manager.
Let's do a joint starting 11 for tomorrow's game then, and we'll start with you. We'll start from the top. We'll start up front. Who would you go with?
So, mate, I'm not gonna lie. I was when I first did this, I was thinking to myself, do you know what? I want to play FIFA and put Balogun up there. But no, I'm gonna go with my guy Lacazette. I don't know about yourself. I want Laka, and the reason for that is the guy has scored 4 goals in 2 games. Right? Keep the consistency. Let's keep it going. What about you?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think, you know, if there is anybody else that you've got up top, you'd probably say Balogun, but he hasn't played any games all season. It's not really worth chucking him in for this game, I don't think. I think it's something that, you know, you kind of save him a little bit. And with Lacazette being on high form and his confidence sky high, why not? Just keep it going.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
Especially, mate, the passion that we saw the other night against Slavia Prague. You know, get it on that knee. I just want to see that again, right? That's what I want to see, mate. So, yeah, keep him in, man. Keep him in.
100%.
So where are we going next? Where are we going next?
I'm going to go left-hand side, and I think you'll definitely agree with me on this one. It's got to be Gabrielle Martinelli. You know, came on Thursday, should have scored, really. What a run that was. And we all know what Martinelli brings to this team. He doesn't get as many starts as what I would like him to get. And I think this is game to sort of, definitely give him a start in this game. What do you reckon?
No, I'll be happy with that, mate. That sounds good. The guy needs a start. He's going to do bits for our club. You know, he could be a future legend. Let's get him going.
Yeah, 100%. Number 10, who are you going with?
I've got a feeling we might disagree on this one, mate. I don't know. I've got a feeling because I was saying Smith Rowe for that one, but you said
Okay.
rest him. But it's your channel, bro. So what are you thinking?
I suppose there isn't really anybody else, is there? I mean, Odegaard, like you said, he's a 50-50 for the game. It's not worth risking him.
No.
So it's going to have to be Smith Rowe unless we completely change our formation. I can't see it because Arteta hasn't really done that this season. So
No.
yeah,
Unless you do like a 4-3-3 where you've got Ceballos, maybe like an El Neni and a Partey or something. Other than that, you can't have Ceballos in that number 10 position. I think he could play there, but I'd be more comfortable with Smith Rowe.
100%.
Yeah.
Right hand side, mate. Who you going with?
So, mate, I reckon I'm going to be a bit of a mind reader. I think you're going with Pepe. Is that what you're going with?
Yeah, that's exactly who I'll go with.
Cool. All right. I'm happy with that, mate. I'm happy with that.
Going with Pepe again, who had an incredible performance in the game in midweek. Keep the momentum going. That's what I say. And maybe because I don't know about you, mate, but I feel like Nicolas Pepe looks more comfortable on the left-hand side. Maybe him and Martinelli could interchange. I saw that on Thursday a lot between Pepe and Saka. They was interchanging, and I quite like that. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think Pepe is best on the left-hand side, 100%. But as long as he's got someone decent behind him on the right-hand side, he can still perform. He can still do well. I think the annoying thing is, though, is that I feel that Pepe, he wants to almost be that right winger, though, because he likes to cut in and try and get that dream shot, the curler, top corner. But in honesty, I think the left-hand side, he is better. So don't be surprised if we see Martinelli and Pepe sort of interchanging, but also even Martinelli going into more of like a number 10 position, just off the back of Lacazette, and Pepe driving to the left position over as a left winger. But, we're not the managers. We can only assume.
100%. Just before we go into midfielders, guys, if you're watching and you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe and share the content as well. Make sure you go and follow Tom on Instagram and go and check out his stuff on League Gunner's channel. So central midfield, mate. Who are you going with? In fact, I'm going to let you pick the pair in the central midfield.
I think we might disagree on one, just from what you said earlier. But I'd be inclined to go for a Partey and a Ceballos. What about yourself, mate?
I wouldn't go with Thomas Partey. I wouldn't risk him. I would go with El Neni and Ceballos. But there we go.
You're a gentleman, mate. You're a gentleman. But I tell you, I think just the thing with El Neni and Ceballos, they're not clicking. That's the thing that I struggle with. Do you know what I mean? But maybe against Fulham, they might.
Possibly. Who knows? I do think Arteta will play El Neni. I've just got this feeling that he will.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
I don't know who he will play him with, but it probably will be Partey, to be fair. I've just got a feeling that El Neni will play in this game. I'm going to go with left back, and you've got to keep Granit Xhaka there.
Keep the momentum going. Keep the rhythm.
What was it? Cashley.
What's that, mate?
What was it? I can't remember what it was called. People were calling him now. Somebody was calling him Jacques Cole.
Oh, mate, it's brilliant. That's fantastic. That is.
But he played well on Thursday. You can't argue that. I mean, and he played well against Sheffield United as well. Maybe we found his position. Do you know what I mean? Because it almost seems like he can sort of run the game from left back because he's not worrying about people catching him in behind him, like he could do in the midfield. You've got to be aware of your surroundings at all times. At left back, it's a little bit easier. Yeah, he doesn't get forward, but some of the balls and diagonal balls, and he has the full picture of the pitch as well. He looks better in that position. I might be wrong, but maybe.
Mate, no, you're not wrong. He looks good. And one thing I will say, mate, is that that formations, teams, everything adapts and changes so quickly. I mean, look at, I can't, blink of an eye, it's gone from a 4-4-2 to, a 4-3-3 now in the majority of matches. You look at Xhaka, and for me, in that left back position, I look for a speedy left back, someone who needs to bomb up and down the pitch and almost play like a left winger. Maybe that could be where football's adapting slightly, and you have more of a defensive, combative left back, and that allows the winger in front to really push on as more of a striker, and the number 10 to move on as maybe like a winger/striker, and even the midfield to get impact as well. So, mate, it could be start of an era. You never know.
You never know. Centre-back pairing, go for it.
Oh, mate. So, I'm trying to keep it as similar as Thursday night as I possibly can. So, I'd be going Mari and Holding. What about you? I bet you want to say Gabrielle, don't you?
No, I'd go exactly the same as you, mate. I'd definitely go with Mari and Holding. I said it on the Arsenal Lounge. I did an interview on the Arsenal Lounge the other day. Again, guys, make sure you go and check that out if you haven't. And I sort of said, maybe we found our two partnerships now, because Gabrielle seems to work well better with David Luiz, but when he's partnered with Rob Holding, he looks very rash, very not his usual self. Whereas Pablo Mari tends to bring that calmness, that collectiveness at the back, which helps Rob Holding as well. And I think they're definitely better as a partnership, 100%.
Definitely. I agree with you there, mate. And you got to remember as well, they're both very tall. And Mari, and I think he's only like 26, 27, but he's got a lot of experience. He's won a lot at a high level in Brazil. So I think they work well together. But putting Gabrielle and Holding together, it's almost like they're both looking for that leader. And, it's like Gabrielle's like, oh, I need that leader beside me. Holding's probably like, I need that leader beside me. It's like sending two kids to the shop and saying, right, don't buy all the beer out. And you give them 50 quid and they buy all the beer out of the 50 quid. Whereas you need that mature head. So, I think Mari and Holding work really, really well, mate.
Yeah. Do you think Pablo Mari is a bit of a leader then?
Mate, I think he is. I really like him. And I was gutted. I know there's a whole rumour, and I had a source and they said it is true, where if he played another game, we had to pay them like another £1 million or something for him. But before that, he was getting to his best. He was incredible. He was amazing. And he got injured somehow. Right. Don't know any truth on that. And then, we chuck him straight in at the deep end, and he's not played a game for like 6 weeks or something. And he looked rusty, you could tell. But look at him, just judge him off Thursday night. The guy's good. The guy won't let anything get past him. And I think someone like Mari could be good to have, especially when we have someone like Saliba, however you pronounce it, coming back start of next season, mate. I think Mari's going to be more crucial to our squad than we think. And what a problem to have him and Gabrielle.
Yeah, that's true. You got basically we've got two very good left-sided centre backs in Pablo Mari and Gabrielle. We just need to find the two right-sided centre backs. I'm not sure Rob Holding's the answer for me. Maybe Saliba could come in and do the job. But again,
it's a tough one, mate. It's a tough one. I don't know what your thoughts are on this, because we've got Saliba who can, he's going to come back hopefully. And looking at his stats, anyone who likes stats, he looks like the incredible person. Like, he is going to be that perfect right-sided centre back. The problem is he's not played an Arsenal game really, apart from against MK Dons. So it's really hard to see. And you don't know if he's a stubborn guy, like a lot of us blokes are out there. He might turn around to us and be like, well, you didn't want me last season or the season before, so why should I bother? I want to go elsewhere. But we don't know what player we're going to get back. So I'll flip this over to you. And I know we need to finish our squad here, but would you be tempted to go into the market and get, a serious, spend 40 mil on a right-sided right back, knowing that you've got Saliba coming back, or would you just leave it? It's tough, isn't it?
Is a tough question, because you don't know how he's going to perform in the Premier League. He's doing very, very well in the French League. Don't get me wrong, but the French League is on a different level to the Premier League is on a different level to the French League. I do think you need to sign another centre back, because it doesn't look like we're going to extend David Luiz's contract, which I'm quite pleased about, because as much as the guy has been all right this season and he's a leader in the dressing room, we all know that. I just think we need to move on from him and bring some fresh blood into the squad. But the biggest question is who do you go and get? Do you know what I mean? Like the market for centre backs is ridiculous at the moment. Manchester United,
it's mad,
mate. Liverpool want a centre back. It's a tough market.
It's tough. I mean, you've got obviously Upamecano. He's now signed a contract behind the scenes. He's going to Bayern Munich. But for me, I'd be quite tempted to go for someone who's a little bit taller than him. Played for the same team, but Konate, he's a massive guy, but he's going to cost us 38 mil minimal. And what do you do if you bring someone like him who's the same age as Saliba? He's more proven. However, what if Saliba does work? Then you've got a headache. Who do you play in that right, right centre back position? You can't play them both every week.
But that's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? The biggest problem that we have at this football club is the competition for places. Nobody's really fighting for a place. Hector Bellerin is a prime example of that. Nobody, up until Cedric came in, had really given him that competition that he needed for that right back position. And I think that's why you've seen Hector Bellerin go from looking very, very good up and coming at a young age to literally leveling off, and he's not really improved since. Do you know what I mean? And he's not the player that he could have been. Yes, injuries hasn't helped him, but I think, if he had more competition, I think he would perform a lot better.
Definitely. Well, listen, but I'll tell you what I'd do. I thought about it. I'd be quite inclined to say, right, Saliba, this is your season. You can have it, right? And I give it until halfway through the season in the December window, the January window, sorry. And if he doesn't prove himself between now and then, that's when you sign that big star right centre back. That's what I'd do, mate. But anyway, we've digressed massively. My fault. Where are you going right back? What's that, mate?
Right back, I'm going to go with Cedric.
Do you know, I feel like we both need like a piece of paper, right? And we reveal it at the same time, because we're getting these bang on, mate. I'd go the same.
Yeah. So not Chambers.
Yeah, I mean, Chambers, he's good. He's good. I mean, he's proven himself brilliantly. But I'd throw him in against Everton. That's what I'd do, mate. Cedric's not played a game for like 3 weeks. I'd chuck him in. Otherwise, the guy's gonna be rusty. Like we just said about Mari. For me, Mari's brilliant, but looked dreadful when he came back because he hadn't played a game for 5 weeks or whatever it was. But mate, I completely cut in there, mate. So yeah, explain your reasons why you've gone with Cedric, buddy.
With Cedric, again, he's not really played an awful lot of football recently. I'd give him an opportunity in that right back position. He looks more comfortable in right back than he does left back. He's been covering for us at left back, and it's not really shown at the best of him. So I'd play him in his natural position. I think you'd save Callum Chambers a little bit. He hasn't played an awful lot of football this season. and he's played a few games in a row now. So maybe give him a little bit of a rest just to make sure he doesn't pick up any little niggly injuries. And I don't want Hector Bellerin anywhere near this team. And I was quite pleased earlier because I see a tweet by Fabrizio Romano, which was talking about Hakimi. And Hakimi did an interview. He said he wants to stay at Inter Milan. And I was like, oh, really? But then at the bottom of that, Fabrizio Romano did say that Hector Bellerin is definitely on his way out of Arsenal in the summer. So that is some good news, I suppose.
Definitely. 100%, man. I'm happy with that. He needs to. I mean, look, we don't give him enough credit. He's been here for a long time, but he's not what we need. And we need to. It's one of them situations in business where you've got to like shake hands and just say, look, no hard feelings. It's not worked out, and walk away. Yeah.
100%. And last position, mate, goalkeeper. Who are you going with?
I forgot about that. I'll go Leno, mate. I reckon you might want to go for Ryan, but I'd save him for the Everton game and keep Leno fresh for the Villarreal.
Okay. I would actually go with Matt Ryan because I think he's only played one game for us since he signed. And
he played the let's see, he played the Burnley game and he played really well there. And I think he played the league game before that. But I feel sorry for him. He should be killing it right now, but he's had nothing. So yeah, I'm with you on that one, mate.
Yeah, so let me just shift that about there. So see what that looks like on the screen. There we go. Look at that. Hopefully all you guys that are watching can see that as well. So there we go. That's our team for tomorrow. We've kept it very, very similar to Thursday's team. Lacazette up front, Martinelli on the left is our only real change from that front three. Pepe on the right, Smith Rowe in the number 10. Partey and Tobias in the midfield again, same as Thursday. Xhaka at left back. We both think he's done very well there. Pablo Mari, Rob Holding as your centre back pairing. Cedric comes in for Callum Chambers and then Leno. So there's only 2 changes in that entire team. Definitely going to beat Fulham, 100%.
I think we can beat him. What about you, mate?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, they're fighting at the bottom of the table. They need the points to stay in the Premier League. It'll be a tough game, don't get me wrong, but I fully expect Arsenal to pick up 3 points in this one. And just before we go, because a few people have jumped in late, I think a lot of them have been over on Lee's channel and checking out his stuff, so that's fair play. Big up yourself, Lee Gunner. And guys, listen, if you're watching now, we are coming towards the end of the video, so you can go and watch it back on playback. Make sure you smash a like, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you go and check out Tom on Instagram and do all of that. You know already. And just before we wrap it up, mate, I'm going to go with score predictions for tomorrow. What we're saying?
Tough one, isn't it, mate? I don't know. For me, it all depends on the team. If we go for a team like that, I think we could win quite comfortably because we're playing a lot of the players that are very, very confident. And I'll probably change my mind tomorrow, mate. But I'd be quite inclined to go for like a 3-1 win. What about you?
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-0. I'm going to go 3-0. I'm going to go for Lacazette to score another brace for 3 games in a row. And I'm going to go for Pepe to score the 3rd. That's what I'm going with.
I like it, mate. I like it.
A comfortable victory for Arsenal, which will set us in good stead for Everton. And then hopefully we can continue that on into the Europa League against Good Evening. So we'll see.
Mate.
Is there any closing remarks that you'd like to say, mate? Anything else?
No, to be fair, it's been fun. I've enjoyed this one. We've touched on a lot of points and some really important ones, especially when it comes to the whole taking a knee against Slavia Prague. That was a powerful, powerful moment, watching that. And I think, as you said, as I said, it's going to be one of those pictures that will definitely be up there. It was powerful. But, mate, I'm excited for the game, man. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. But you never know with Arsenal. We're on a high. Just don't let them bring us down on a low, please.
Yeah, you just never know with Arsenal, I suppose. And yeah, I agree as well. Again, I do think it'll be a comfortable victory. I do think we've got other things that are more important in this game. I think a lot of Arsenal fans would agree on that. But let's keep the winning mentality going. And of course, guys, again, I'm going to be over on Lee Gunner's channel after the game tomorrow, doing a phone cam with Tom.
Yeah.
And I will actually be there this time. I'll make sure I turn up.
No, you're fine, mate. You're fine.
So, yeah, make sure you go and check that out as well. And, yeah, guys, like I said, if you're new around here, subscribe. Make sure you do that. And smash a like as well. It's all appreciated. It's all love. And we're out there. Ooh.